So this is a Hydor 250 filter. We were having some leaks with it. The leaks, you could see the scale down here. So we thought it was coming from the gasket around the top of the filter. So we looked at some stuff online, ordered the new parts, got a new gasket in, replaced it. Kind of fixed it for a little bit, but then the leak came back, kept getting worse and worse and worse. So then we kept looking into things and tried a bunch of different tricks. There's a bunch of people online that said Vaseline would work. We tried a little bit of Vaseline to make that seal. I even tried so much as to 100% silicone all the way around this, which pretty much glued it shut. We still had a leak. And then what we ended up finding out, what is also probably the problem with a lot of other people that replace the gasket but still have a leak. As you can see this little white line right here and all this calcium buildup all the way around the edge. So we actually had a leak from the O-rings up top here, and it was leaking over the side. We just couldn't see it because it was blocked by the different parts of the filter. So pretty easy fix. It's $1.60 overall in parts, and this might be applicable to every canister filter. If you're having problems with your filter, even if it's not a Hydor, it could be a bunch of other brands, this could be a solution for you. I bet they're all assembled very similarly. So 4 screws. Hardest part is just trust in yourself that this is going to come off. Just takes a little bit of force. Make sure things are turned the right way. Alright, so we have the intake and the outtake. Top just pops off, there's no gasketing or anything. You could see our problem was we would just fill up with water in here. You could see the calcium buildup from where our leak was. And these just pop off. But here's the old O-rings. You can see they're deformed. You can see they're brittle. There was no part number for these, so we went down to the local hardware store, sized them out. Easiest way to size these, if you have access to a pair of digital calipers. If not, they're 20 bucks, Harbor Freight. So the ID of the O-ring, 0.796. We need to select the next smallest size, so I went with 3/4, which is 0.750. 3/32 thick O-ring. We could figure that out by measuring our ID, 0.930. So 0.93 minus 0.796 equals, divide by 2. We need a thickness of at least 0.067, so 3/32 is 0.093. A little bit of lubrication. Use silicone dry lubricant. Pops right on. Same thing with the other side. Measure it out. Determine the right thickness. These were 79 cents a piece at Ace Hardware. And so on the outtake side, we went with 15/16 OD and 3/4 inch ID to 3/32 width. On the intake we went with 1 1/16 OD, 7/8 ID, and a 3/32 thickness. Same thing. Snaps in place. You can double check. Good. No leaks there. So it all just kind of sits here. Trickiest part of the fix is getting everything back together. Make sure your electrical line lines up. Notice everything's sealed, it's all waterproof. And then there's some little clips you just have to get past the ridge of the frame. There's no sealant needed, that part stays out of the water. So it just screws back together. Could go with the drill, but these screws are pretty stripped out when they come from the factory, so just be nice and easy with them. Just nice and snug. That actually does keep those outlets sealed, keeps them down. Now as far as maintaining your filter, I would say just replace all of these gaskets every 2 years just to be sure. The biggest issue you're going to have if you don't is a leak. It could leak while you're out of town, away at work. You could end up with 55 gallons of water on your floor. In our case, that would be a pretty bad thing with the laminate floor, and we would have to replace the whole floor. So a little bit of preventative maintenance is going to go a long way. I think it's $10 for the main gasket here and 79 cents a piece for those other two gaskets. I would be willing to bet that the same repair would work on a bunch of different filters. I don't think the designs are that much different. So if you're having a leak after you replace this main seal, before you go and throw out the whole canister and buy a brand new one because you're out of options, see if you can take the top off, see if there's a couple O-rings to replace out on top. I also tried the trick with Teflon tape around here. Obviously that wasn't where our leak was coming from, so that didn't fix our problem. But a little bit of exploration, we were able to find the issue, and it's been working flawlessly ever since.